What does Ashara know about what happens after you die?
I think she's had a vague idea that if you follow a particular god, probably involves that god. And then after seeing Omri and the river, I think she has some ideas about what happens if you don't follow a particular god and if you're just sort of become a part of the river.
I think as Ashara comes to in this moment, she is confused and disoriented. And she has this sensation of floating. And if she tries to open her eyes, there's nothing really there. Not in the sense of like she's alone, just in the sense of like there's just nothing to see, or there's nothing to see them with. And I think it is, at first, a very almost peaceful feeling. Just this feeling of floating in nothing. And that's it. That's it. That's it. How long does it take for Ashara to realize, to remember something?
I think it takes a minute because not just the shock, but that particular feeling is so disorienting to her in itself because she is not someone who is used to being at peace. So I think just that floaty nothingness feeling alone takes her a few minutes to like wrap her head around.
What's the first person that you think of as you realize that something is wrong?
Oh, I mean, it's Juke. She thinks of something bad has happened. Is Juke okay?
You have all of these thoughts. Your friends come back to you one by one. You think of Kat and her family.
Yep.
You think of Katernan and Thalo far away right now.
She thinks
your mother
of
and your brother.
Yeah. And she thinks of Nikolai. He's early in the list, but he's with Rillen, so he's fine.
Fine. Hopefully. Probably.
Yeah.
There's a part of you that wants to thrash and you have nobody to thrash with. That sensation abruptly changes, I think. You sort of lie there helplessly, writhing in your confusion and your worry and your regret, and then suddenly you go from intangible to tangible as something grabs you, and for lack of a better word, lifeguards you to the shore of the river. You feel something humanoid and maybe the same sort of height and physical shape as you, like a human-shaped something, dragging you. And as you find yourself suddenly, abruptly on solid ground, although it's not a place or a location that you've ever been or seen, you find yourself visible and tangible, and you have hands to move, and you have air to breathe, and eyes to see, and I think you find yourself just kind of choking, like you haven't taken a breath in a long time, and suddenly you're able to breathe again.
Yeah, I think I don't even know if she says anything. I think she's just, for a while because she doesn't like that feeling.
You are on all fours looking down at the ground, just head dizzy, spinning, trying to gain a sense of a sense of self in this moment, and I think as you're sort of there choking on your own breath, you look down and a pair of softly glowing golden coyote paws come into view of your dizzy, kind of blurred vision.
Guide. I think she just reaches out and, like, one hand on paw. What? I don't.
Hand puts itself on top of yours, curls gently, not to so much grip or take you, but a comforting kind of clasp. And you hear the voice of the guide. And I'll tell you right now that if you look down at this hand, there is something tangible to see.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she absolutely does.
It is a small hand, very similar in color, the skin very similar in color to yours. And you hear a voice that you know very well, with a slightly, but also slightly different at the same time, say, "For all that I have done to get you as far as I have, I could not keep you on the material plane any longer."
This is... Ah. I died.
The hand on your hand squeezes.
Oh. Oh, guide. I'm so sorry. If I'm dead, then I've failed you. I failed everyone. I'm so sorry.
You are wet and shivering, mostly because the concept that you have of the river is something that is wet and would make you shiver. So it's a comfort, I think, to feel pulled into an embrace as your god holds you very tightly and very closely. In this moment, though you are more spirit than person, the only way that you know how to understand the sensory input that you're receiving is through a human body. And so the hair on the back of your neck and your arm stands up like on goosebumps as the vibration of power from the thing that stands with you just shakes you to your core. But nonetheless, it holds you. They hold you.
I think if she can, despite the power overrating there, she just clings on. Like, I don't think the concept of hugging one's god ever occurred to her, but in this moment, that is... She needs that. So bad.
Maybe many months from now, when you reflect back on this moment, you'll think of Lena and wonder if this was her influence, but right now, you are alone and in despair. And to receive that comfort, I think. As you are held close, I think after a time, your body stops shaking. And it's then that you realize that the hands that sort of hold you very close tremble slightly.
What happens now? Can I see if everyone else is okay? Can you tell me? I don't know that I ever fully envisioned my death. It was such a constant companion for so long that thinking about it just seemed unnecessary. I don't think I expected it to hurt so much.
In my brief time that I spoke with the ferryman, my understanding is that the barrier between life and death is not something that should be crossed lightly. What goes on there now is beyond you. I think with Ashara's insight, she would know that the guide is not saying this to be cruel. They are saying this because they are a god of truth and they are not going to pull that punch from her even now.
Yeah. She appreciates that. There's a lot of comfort in truth, even if the individual answer is not what she wanted.
You've lied to me. Not through malice or intent. The concept that the person who named me could ever have failed me is foolish.
But I haven't finished. You aren't. I have not completed anything I set out to do for you.
Whether your death came now or in 100 years, 200 years, you would say the same thing to me now. You would always be distressed by the concept that there's not infinite time. You've done enough for me. Done more than enough for me.
You're right. I hear you say those words, and I don't think there's such a thing. I'm glad that if my ending is here, at least I got to speak to you before whatever happens next happens.
Kind of a pause. And I think Ashara feels the tingle of a spell that she finds familiar. Not cast with word or intent, just simply like your god flipped a switch and this ability activates inherently as Ashara comes under the effects of his own truth spell. And the guide says, "Are you content with having ended here?"
No. No.
Why?
Why? Because for so long I did not think that anything I could do could truly matter to you or to anyone I cared about, or to have people that I cared about, or to so many things that I never thought would even be a possibility for me, and now they are, and it's so soon. I have so many things left I wanted to do. I want to build your temple properly, not having to hide in dark corners of the world and have people make accusations about you based on a past that is no longer relevant, and show them the truth of you. Show them the awe that they should feel at the mere concept of you. And it's selfish, but I would like some time to just be happy. I have not had a lot of that, but now I do. And it's such a small part of what I've ever been able to have. I want to see Nikolai grow up. I want to see what our little band of idiots ends up as. I want even crazy things like the idea of saving someone who I don't know if they can be saved. But I have had to try.
The guide has been holding you throughout this conversation. They let go now. They put two hands on your shoulders, just sort of push you to sort of sit down on the sand on your knees. They say, "Would you look upon my face?"
If you would allow it, it would be an honor.
They stand up and they take a couple of barefooted steps back. They turn and they sit across from you. Do you look upon them?
Yes.
The person that you see sitting across from you, you would be forgiven for a moment for thinking that you were looking upon yourself in a mirror. I think as you observe them, furrow your brow and study their features and their face and the body and the form and the clothes that they're wearing, you start to notice the differences because you know yourself well. but undeniably dressed in the fabrics and colorful designs of Port Corleone, with tanned skin like your mother, dark blue hair, a nose like your father's. This could be your sibling, you think. They look at you with golden eyes, not dark ones like yours, and they tilt their head a little bit. They say, "When I first awoke, I did not have a form to claim or a past to shape me. It could have been anyone in the desert, I think. But it was you."
Thank you. She's clearly overwhelmed. Like, she doesn't look away, but I think there are wide-eyed tears.
And with this sort of, I think you'd like to.
I don't know why I was lucky enough to be the one that you spoke to, but I am so grateful that I was.
I'm so grateful that on that night, you were there to coalesce me. On that night, when I felt compelled to give some kind of action, I became. I still do not know what I am or what I was supposed to be, or if I was something that was and was then no longer and then again. None of that particularly matters to me at this point. I am what you have made me, what you have shaped me to be. I like it. Coyote sort of sitting between the two of you, kind of panting a little bit. Behind you, you hear, I think, it almost kind of comes into view now as you're like looking at the guide. It's like you're standing on this like riverbed. You're in the sand. It's wet and damp and cool under your hands. And behind you, as if you've acknowledged it for the first time, you hear the trickling of a calm but flowing river. The guide sort of pulls themselves up, dusting the sand off their outfit. Actually, I will ask you in this moment, what outfit is the guide wearing?
I think if their appearance is at least shaped by Ishara's influence, then, especially in that time, I don't think it's particularly fancy, but it is probably layers of varying shades of, maybe like the bottom layer is a blue with orange accent, and then as the layers stack, you have your undershirt, your overshirt, your robe, your sash, it trends closer to the colors that Ishara holds herself in now, and that she has represented at the shrine. The accumulation of time and influence.
As they sort of stand in this colorful, nostalgic, but also not outfit, they kind of brush the sand off themselves in a gesture that's so human it feels kind of uncomfortable. Then they walk up to you and they say, "You could take a step backwards now and go to rest. and it would be a peaceful rest. That's what you wanted.
If that was the only option, I would do it with the peace of having known you.
I can't forestall death forever. It's in your nature to live and die. It is in that moment to moment, knowing that things will end, that gives it meaning, that you choose truth. That you choose to be afraid. That you choose to... That you choose. But... you are my first, and you are my favorite. And you deserve to be happy. I could give you a gift, and it will be something that takes something from you. You will be permanently changed by this. And I will not be able to take it back. But I can give you time to find that happiness. As you open your mouth to reply, they kind of put a hand forward, one finger, and they say, "Don't take this offer for me. I'm here now and I will not go anywhere. There are believers in Tel Safari, there are believers halfway across the world. There are believers who do not know that I have a voice to answer them yet, but I am not so fragile that I will disappear without you. If I choose to return you, it is because I want you there, and if I choose to return you, it is because you want to be there. And this is different. I'm not asking you for duty, I am asking you what you want."
Truly, you are my god, because who else could see to the core of me so well? You're right. I would take any gift you offer me because it's you. But yes, whatever this is, I would take it from me as well. I would grab hold of time and pull myself back inch by agonizing inch, because I don't want it to end here. There's too much.
They reach down, tuck a sort of a stray hair behind your ear, and they say, "The next time you die, I can't intervene again. This will be your last chance."
I will have for, in what some would argue is a difficult task for me, I will have to learn how to not risk death so much. Well, now that I've seen your face, I would trade nothing for that. I don't want to be back here again before it is my time. A much, much older time.
They consider your words for a moment. They go very well. They sort of reach up, take both fingers, put them to their eyes, and as they do, the glow of the gold sort of pops out almost like a pair of glowing orbs, leaving their eyes dark and mysterious. They sort of take this light, gently kind of crush it in their hand until it can open their hand again and it comes out as an orb. And they offer it to you. Even in this last moment, you have to take it.
I think there is a small pause because whatever's about to happen, Ishara has a suspicion that the guide will go back to being a silhouette behind a coyote. And she is imprinting their appearance in her memories as best she can in this a traumatized, shell-shocked moment of death. And then she reaches out and takes the orb.
Put your hands around it, and almost immediately, like every muscle in your body contracting and violently reacting, you suddenly feel immense pain, and it is horrifying and welcoming all at once because you felt not a single iota of pain since you woke up floating in the river, because pain is a benefit, pain is a privilege of the living. What happens next?
I think... Is this next in the beyond or next in the material?
It's next in the material.
I think the glow of the orb that is now racking Shara's body as it changes is visible whichever plane you're looking at Ashara on. And so I think there is a glow that starts in her chest and spreads. And I think the glow, as it passes through, it knits wounds and restores in a way that is both alike and not alike the healing spells that Ardie is so very familiar with from her. Because her magic always has a color that is similar to this, but this is 1,000 times more intense. This is the only thing like this that has, I think, been seen by everyone else to this point was the point where she was channeling the guide with Hazel. And now it is coursing through her, and she is helpless in its midst.
When people later talk about this moment, when songs are written about this moment, Ishara will often be described as a vibrant light so blinding that none could behold the miracle that was happening within. But for Ishara, the last few moments of this are the guide, one hand on the coyote, head kind of tilted towards Ashara like they're watching everything that's happening with a curiosity. They smile at her. And that feeling of connection to your god does not fade as you revive. If anything, it's like a chord of your soul is strummed like a lyre. And the vibrations escape your mouth in a language that you now speak but do not yet understand. And anyone who hears it is compelled to tears by the beauty of that sound.